Portugal hosts one of the best crowds in surfing history as we have max capacity here at Super Tubos as we enter round 3 of action on a massive day here for the Moche Rip Curl Pro, the 10th stop on the Samsung Galaxy ASP World Championship Tour. Former world champ, current world number 4, takes on Adam Melling, all Australian battle, all natural foot, as they look for a spot into round 4. Joe Chappelle alongside a former world champion, Martin Potter, world champ. During the break, Parko got started.
Yeah, Parko got off to a quick start. He saw how wave-starved that last heat was, and he just really wants to connect with something good to get things going here. A smaller wave, but I tell you what, he really did capitalize, doing some great surfing here. Huge crowd on the beach, and when he finished off this wave, the crowd erupted right there. Joel Parkinson playing a very patient heat. As we see the replay here from Joel, pulls up nice and tight there, forces his way out, but then comes off the bottom and capitalizes on this wave with a beautiful wraparound cutback. So Joel Parkinson just trying to build up his points, trying to get that momentum going, staying busy. As we see Joel Parkinson, while Adam Melling gets pounded on the inside, Joel stalls up, stands tall in the barrel there. Great tube riders, Joel Parkinson honing his skills on the Gold Coast at Snapper Rocks and Kira. No big scores just yet. This is definitely Adam Melling's best wave. See when he bottom turns right there how much speed he gets. Unloads it there. Nice little tweak at the end of that again, straight off the bottom. Beautiful transitions and mixing it up with some great surfing. So Adam Melling showing some innovation, some speed, power and flow. Part of the judging criteria, so the judges are going to have to reward this, Joe. Finishing off nicely
on the QS and the WCT. Meanwhile, Melling just got another wave. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, beautiful turn there to start things off as he draws off the bottom. I love that wraparound snap that he's got going at the moment. He looks so solid on his feet. He knows he needs a good result coming into the back part of this year. Adam Melling flying there at the end of that one. Beautiful surfing on that wave. 5.33.
In front of thousands of fans, not just from Portugal, from all over Europe, as we just had a major upset. Joel Parkinson out of the contest. He got double-barreled after the heat came to a close. And now we'll see if Jordy can lift up the red jerseys against Freddy Patacchia.
Have a look at this. Jordy Smith drops in. Gone. There he is. Disappeared. Driving, and then somehow manages to sneak through the bottom of that one. So incredible ability there from Jordy Smith. 9.50. Freddy's got his work cut out as he drops in, grabs a rail, pulls in nice and deep, travels. A bonus section right there. Thought the wave had bucked him off, but Freddy P hanging on and muscling, manhandling that wave, getting through and finishing off with a nice little backside turn. So Freddy P trying to keep himself in the heat. You heard the crowd roar from Jordy Smith's opening wave. Come trestles, he took down John, who was the guy who I thought was going to win. Jordy there pulls up nice and tight in the barrel. Great positioning from Jordy. This is where Jordy's dangerous. Where the wave gets frothy and bumpy, hard to ride, Jordy just attacking it. So strong, so solid on his feet. Free falls down, disappears and pops out the bottom. So great. He's got a 6.33 as a backup. Freddie needing that perfect 10. Here he goes. Driving through that barrel and pops out the end. So Jordy Smith having a bit of fun out there. Maybe taking in huge from Jordy Smith. Watch this opening turn here. This is what I love about his surfing. Just so solid. Drops off the bottom there, pulls up, punches his way through that whitewater foam ball, and then races down the line. Something big coming for sure. Jordy Smith there almost pulling that one off. That was going to be another wave up in the excellent range.
Dion Atkinson ready to perform in front of an amazing crowd of surf fans. John now number 5 in the world after taking a huge victory up in France over Jadson Andre. And Dion Atkinson still under pressure to perform as a rookie, coming into this event for the first time in his career.
Another bomb right behind him. Let's have a look at John's first here though. Look how he sneaks under the lip there, nice and high. Now he drives through that section, comes flying out of the end. So John, that is going to be a good score for him. And then right behind him, Dion on a bigger wave, cleaner, stands up tall, drives through that section. Maybe not as long as John's wave, but bigger. So is that going to come into play? Who's going to come out? I think we're going to see back-to-back tube rides here for him. Look at that, nice and deep in the barrel there, in the belly of the beast. And John comes out. So John with back-to-back tube rides. And this heat's starting to warm up, Joe.
Lies in this lineup. Let's take a look at the last of John Florence.
Look at the size of this. Free falls and somehow pulls straight up into the barrel. That was crazy good there from John. Just the ability to free fall out of the lip. Let's have a look at Dion Atkinson's wave before. slows down, pulls up nice and tight there, comes flying out, draws off the bottom, and this is where he sort of tags it a few times here. So Dion Atkinson going to maneuvers John Florence with an 8.77 and a 6.07. Still waiting for that last one to drop in, as well as this one for Dion. Let's have a look at John's
judge in a complete agreement. So this is the perfect 10.
Oh, wow. That was insane. He free fell out of the sky. As soon as he landed, he had to pull straight up into the barrel. Comes flying out of the end.
All Brazilian affair taking to the water. Adriano De Souza up against Jadson Andre, Pat Parnell along with Ross Williams. And we are just fresh off the froth of John Florence, just reminding us just how good he is in the tube, Ross.
Timed it great. Adriano has improved his tube riding over the last few years. You can see dragging that front knee there, stalling, maximizing that tube time. And this is a tricky floater right here. The whitewash explodes with that backwash, and almost like an air move there. 2 for 1 for Adriano.
And that he did.
Oh, here we go. On his backhand, knifing that rail in, grabbing the rail, hooked underneath it, and that way filled up with whitewash again. Tricky condition, but a nice technical tube ride there for Jadson. Watch how small and tight this gets, and he gets really high, tucks in right here. He's going to grab the rail, keep control of the board, and he knifes right through it. So clean exit. Look at that. This is a different wave. That is bizarre. He reconnects with the next swell. Not sure.
Get 2 different scores?
Yeah, you could almost count as 2 different scores. That is crazy.
Welcome back. We are packed to the gills here at Super Tubos as we continue with round 3 matchups. Owen Wright up against fellow Australian Bede Durbidge, come to know and love. Taking a look back on Bede's wave.
Yeah, big Bede, such a smooth surfer, and going on a left-hander here, and I guarantee you they watched that last heat realizing that, hey, these tubes are pretty sticky right now.
Free.
So, well, that fist pump was more about, just how difficult these conditions are right now, and Bede knows the gravity of this score. A pretty sweet little tube ride, but nothing crazy. But for right now, the last 3 heats, guys have been having a hard time. Rope-a-dope. That's a 1-2 punch right there. This is going to probably be put Owen Wright into a combo situation. Nice little barrel there. Clean little floating maneuver. Again, it's nothing crazy, but for how difficult the conditions are right now for these guys finding an excellent score.
Simply put, the stakes do not get any higher than this, and the expectations of a country are on the shoulders of Gabriel Medina, current #1 in the world, but the one American trying to stand in his way, Brett Simpson, and found magic right out of the gate.
Well, I can guarantee you these guys are going to be searching for any kind of corner, and look at Brett, double arm grab stall there, maximizing the tube behind a curtain. That is a threaded barrel right there, nice and hollow. What a way to start your heat for Brett, and I'll tell you what, Gabriel Medina did not want to start his heat this way. That's
Simpo's wave.
Beautiful stall there. So Brett really maximizing that score. He could have just got caught up in the moment there and soul-arched in that barrel, but he made the most of it. So that was a very savvy move, better result, and you know that's what Gabriel wants to do. He does not want to give Kelly and the guys a chance. Great little left-hander here, very hollow. This time he was able to sneak out that whitewash. Not a clean exit for him, but a throaty barrel on a takeoff. I don't think this is going to be an excellent score by any means, but it's a great start to get through as many heats as possible. And there you go. There's the deciding factor. 5.33 for Gabriel, so a 2-point difference. Obviously, the judges acknowledging just how hollow and perfect that wave was from Brett. 0 mistakes from Brett, and whereas Gabriel, clever surfing for him, but it was a short barrel. He had to punch through the whitewash to break out, so I think that's right on the money. But guess what?
It's just insane.
And just having a look at this wave from Medina, he dropped in that 5.33, maybe not happy with that score. As you can see, just really, he's trying to create these opportunities on these smaller waves. Like we said, he can create something out of nothing. So Medina really hammering home.
Not cooperate at all. Extremely, just a stubborn wave at shutdown. Meanwhile, on the left-hander, Gabriel Medina looking into the pit. Keep in mind, from the front-on view, he'll look quite a bit deeper, getting shacked, but not as long as Brett Simpson's 7.33, so it'll be to me. Nice opening carve here, just a speed snap, trying to keep up his speed, get down the line. Had to wait a long time for that second maneuver. A lot of whitewash in the face, but it was a beautiful snap. If I had to take a guess...
During the recap, though, Medina trying to answer back.
Sticking to that left-hander, Gabriel finding a nice little tube ride in and out, and then backs it up with a stab. So this is getting down to the nitty-gritty here. You can see him even looking for that second wedge. And he lays into a clean little
Kelly Slater on the pressure that he's dealing with, fighting for a 12th world title this season. And if you're just joining us, the world title race will go to Pipeline at the season finale in Hawaii, with Brett Simpson just taking out world number 1 Gabriel Medina in the last heat. And now Kelly has an opportunity to get a bit closer as he takes on Aritz Aranburu from the vast part of Spain.
Remaining. Aritz Aranburu opens up his account, as we said, very similar to the Brett Simpson wave there. Maybe not as clean and round, but starts off with a bang. Aritz Aranburu, I'll tell you what, he surfs tricky waves really well. And out there this afternoon, it looks tricky. It's a real sort of round 4. Kelly Slater's got a serious battle on his hands right now. Aritz Aranburu showing that he's not going to lie down. He's fighting for his place on tour, driving through this deep barrel there. Not super deep, as you said, Joe, but it's going to be a good score nonetheless. Kelly Slater with just a 0.83, Aritz with a 4, keep going. You know, Kelly knows he's got to find something special. Pulls up nice and tight there as the wave unloads. And as we always do, we ride him off, but Kelly Slater somehow manufactures an exit on that wave there and finishes off with a little slash. So tiny scores at this thing here. It's a small wave, kind of manufactured that tube there, had to really slow down. A 1.93, so Kelly back to the drawing board, 3 minutes.
Back, everyone. The town of Peniche and its port, obviously a focal point during the times of exploration, and the fishing and the culture has never been stronger as the world's best surfers continue to come back every year and celebrate the history and the local architecture. And, of course, the waves at Super Tubos just past the castle there as the point of Peniche, around a majestic and citadel type of town as the sun setting here. A beautiful day of competition as we continue with round 3, and just saw a very close call for Josh Kerr, able to move on out of round 3, and now it's up to the Spartan, Michel Bourez, having the best season ever, currently 7th in the world. Sebastian Zietz, the Flying Hawaiian, trying to re-qualify as we welcome everyone back. This was during the break, getting right to work.
Yeah, Michel Bourez tucking into a nice barrel there, and so that last heat, the last heat and a half, we've seen the waves turn around a bit, and for the better with those tubes. That's what we want to see here at Super Tubos. So he has a massive stranglehold on the world title trophy, and during that title hit here, it looks like Michel Bourez trying to build on his lead. A couple of huge snaps there, releasing the tail on that second turn. And I like this. You know, he's staying busy, realizing that not every wave is a golden ticket. There's not
and then the top 10 of the QS as we look back on Seabass's wave.
Wow, pretty deep there for Seabass, and that's going to bode well with the judges. They're going to like the fact that he got way behind a curtain. A lot easier to throw a big score there. A couple of snaps there. It doesn't really matter. Hey, if I'm going to make it out of this barrel and get a score, I need to sneak out the doggy door. And watch, he'll find this exit right there. It's so tough to do. That lip touches his board, but allowed him just enough space. Smaller wave, but look how hollow it is. That shallow sandbar produces a real throaty barrel. Trying to squeeze through that little guy. Right now holding on to a 6.5. Had he come out, not sure that would have...
Back, everyone. A full day in the books here at the Moche Rip Curl Pro Portugal as we wrap it up with our last round 3 matchup. 2 more to go. All in tow. But let's get back to the last heat of the day. Kai Otten, are you kidding me?
Easily, in my eyes, the best barrel I've seen in this event. That was extremely deep, hollow, as you mentioned, Pat, below sea level.
And let's take another look. This is just such eye candy.
Oh, that thing is so square. Just for him to be able to make the drop, didn't utilize his rail, so no grab there, making that very technical. That was a fat barrel. That was extremely downright angry. This is just as throaty. Look at that. No grab for Kai. Very technical drop. As deep as you can be on that. Up and over the foam ball. And he came out after the spit. So, if that first ride was a 9 to this heat, smaller wave here, you can see not quite as crazy as those barrels that Kai Otten grabbed earlier. But, little tube time.
there to start things off for Andino. Beautiful conditions here this morning. Nice little barrel here. This is going to set the scale for the rest of the day. A little bit smaller than yesterday, so the judges will tweak their scale a little bit.
Battling. Let's check this out.
Yeah, this is a great little wave. You can see Felipe dragging that hand, slowing himself down a little further up the board there, and just comes flying out of that one there with a lot of speed, and then just hooks into this beautiful wraparound cutback. Great technique there from Felipe Toledo, bouncing off the white water. This is what we come to watch. Have a look at this wave from Felipe Toledo. You can see him further up the board, driving through this barrel nice and deep, disappeared, comes flying out with that spit there, and then really does capitalize with a couple of good turns there. Gouging, redirecting turn there, and then snaps it off the lip. So Felipe Toledo, a 6.17 on his opening wave, and then right behind, have a look at this one right here as he drops in. Andino driving through the barrel. He comes flying out of the end of that one there, and just says to the judges, yep, that was a good... You know, we saw yesterday, you get that rhythm, and you start finding the good ones. Felipe Toledo dragging it, and then now sort of hitting the gas, driving through the barrel. Beautiful positioning, nice and clean there. You've got to come out clean. The judges want to see that. Felipe Toledo did exactly what he had, deciding to just stay busy, keep that board moving. Beautiful snap there to start things off. This wave showed a lot of variety, showed a little bit of what Felipe Toledo can do, using the rail game, sliding the fins out there, just showing the judges something different on every turn. Finishing off with the night. I'll tell you what, Felipe Toledo showing some crazy surfing. Look how fast he gets that board going. Every time he does that pump, he gets that foot further back. Big gouging maneuver, straight off and into the barrel there, just tucking up nice and tight. But let's have a look at this here. Let's see is this going to be a 6.8. Bang, throws it out, lands on the flats, spins it around nice and clean. But is that going to be a 6.8? Beautiful rotation there. Stomped that thing perfect. Let's have a look at the water shot here. Projects himself out towards the beach. That's what you got to do with these offshore winds.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Moche Pro Portugal. Mick Fanning's in the lineup now. Current world number 3, taking on Alejo Muniz from Brazil. Current number 29 in the world, needing a massive result so he can break that 22 mark on the CT to requalify.
He didn't follow suit. He didn't go down where Felipe and Chloe were. This is his own little bank. This is what's been serving him so well. Look at that, driving through the barrel, standing tall. One of the bigger waves we've seen this morning. That's called experience right there from Mick Fanning. And then just lays into this beautiful cutback. Unfortunately gets detonated at the end of that. But a little bit of white water on the face of the wave. You can see Alejo Muniz saying, oh no, here we go. As Mick draws off the bottom, pulls up nice and high in that one there, just making sure he comes out of this tube. He wants to get that 2-wave total happening, and then he's going to start increasing that. So it's not going to be a massive... Look at this from the water, driving through the tube there, nice and deep, right on the foam ball, and fights his way through. Not a clean exit, so that could hinder the scoring potential just a little bit. But what I like about this one, he stuck with it and finished off. Look at that, air drops in, pulls up nice and deep there, disappeared, riding on the foam ball and coming out after the spit. So nice and deep there from Alejo. This is the part of it that I like. He finished this wave off, made sure he capitalized on the end section. Nice little turn here to make sure the judges give him that. Paddle down the face. Watch Mick Fanning. Watch how far down. There he goes. Gets that momentum going forward. Pushes the board down. See that there? You don't want to hesitate at the top of the wave. Mick Fanning just hanging a little bit in the barrel there. It's not going to be a big score either for that one, but...
big score throughout this event as we check out Alejo's last wave.
Yeah, you see, he missed that first section. Probably a good move going around there as he stalls, pulls up nice and tight there, driving through that end section. It sort of crumbles, so he has to fight his way out of that as scores drifting in right now, a 5.33. So not enough for Alejo Muniz. Look at him driving. And we'll talk about that clean exit there. You see how the wave crumbled on him, and Alejo kicks out.